Lace up the shoes, chase W's. What I do? Lace up the shoes, chase W's. Now what I do? Lace up the shoes, chase W's. Yeah. The beats, leave it in the street, case on the news.
Matching hundreds. It's the coach, and this is the NFL on EA Sports. Coming up, we'll see teams with a couple of running backs who each went over 100 yards a weekend ago, as it'll be the Denver Broncos taking on the Los Angeles Chargers. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, under hazy, overcast L.A. skies, EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to Dignity Health Sports Park in Carson, California. Today, it's a matchup in the AFC West between the Denver Broncos and our home team. Hi, everybody. Brandon Gordon. It's the final 3 weeks of the season. Still plenty to play for here as we're underway in Week 15. It's a short kick taken near the 18. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. So here are the Broncos now for their opening drive. Leading the charge is the UCF product who hails from right there in the Orlando area in Altamont Springs, Blake Bortles.
And you and I both know that any win is a good win, and that's what they did last week. But there's also plenty for him to work on in his game, wasn't there?
Yeah.
2 touchdowns, an interception. Yeah, you know, he wants to increase that a little bit in terms of ratio. But first and foremost, they did win the game.
To throw is Bortles. He's got his big tight end, Fant. Give him 3 there on the first play of the game, and it's second down. And one of the guys to watch out for out of this group is the man on the outside, Keenan Allen.
His versatility, able to play outside the numbers, come back inside to the slot. In any case, you've got to find ways to get him the ball.
Here's a throw right side, taken in by his tight end. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play. And all of a sudden here, it's third down. The last completion actually lost a yard, so now they'll need to convert on third down. Now the throw on third down, knocked away and incomplete. So the defense able to get off the field here on third down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on third down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
Oh, he takes it in, doesn't let it bounce. He takes it at the 2. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And it'll be Charger football here as they take over. Jackson on first down, under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Timmy Jernigan able to record his 5th sack of the season.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
So after the sack, here's 2nd and 14.
Butt sick. I got 15. Me.
Here's Jackson. Throw left side complete. It's Hodges. And he'll go down right on the edge of the red zone following a pickup of about 7 or 8.
One of the advantages of zone defense, as I remember it, is being able to see the play develop in front of you. One of the disadvantages, when they find those levels where they can hit you with it. Sometimes behind the corner and in front of the safety, it makes it tough to defend.
That is caught. It's Perriman. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. On 1st and 10, it's Jackson. Over the middle, complete. That's Hodges. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. That one goes for 24 yards.
Brandon, unless my eyes deceive me, I think they found a matchup that they're trying to exploit here, don't you? I mean, that's the second time they've gone to him here on this drive.
Yeah, opening drive. It's a tone setter, right? I think they're going to be looking his way a lot.
Yeah, and I think that the way things are going right now, they like him as a featured receiver. Let's see what kind of adjustments the defense is going to make to try and take that away.
To throw on 2nd and 6, Jackson. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on 3rd down. But look now at the starters defensively for the Broncos. Right now in the National Football League, they're ranked number 18 against the pass.
And I think you're going to see some changes in the offseason, whether it's through the draft, free agency, maybe even both. They definitely need some help in the secondary.
Jackson now. Got a man, Slayton. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Offense.
So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
So now they assess a 3rd and long, and that holding call might have knocked him out of field goal range, at least for the moment. Jackson. Open target here, Darius Slayton. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop it. A really good pickup of 28 yards. They're piecing together a nice drive to start this one. Seems pretty scripted and pretty successful so far.
And I think they did it without our help. Because you remember when we sat in the production meeting with them to talk about this, and hey, you know, how you guys going to come out of the gate? I know I offered my help with a few plays, and they didn't seem to want it. Well, you were the smart one. Whatever they're doing, though, it's working really well.
That's over 40 yards of movement with those last 2 plays. Jackson hit, and he lost the football. It's picked up by the Broncos. And he'll be stopped shy of the 15 at the 14-yard line on the return. A little careless with the football, and he also had a fumble loss last week, didn't he?
He certainly did, and when I'm watching him play, the one thing that comes to mind is always remember, traffic, turbulence, people around you.
And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. 0 accountability, and a sack resulted.
Throwing his Bortles on 3rd down. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And picked up by the Chargers. And a tough turnover there as now they will have it at the 6-yard line, 1st and goal.
With no running backs in the backfield to help pass protect, all the receivers in their patterns, it's going to be hot routes. If they sense a blitz or pressure on the quarterback, they've got to be prepared to break routes off early and get the football. In this case, never even had a chance. They popped the ball free.
And this is going to be a Charger touchdown. A 6-yard touchdown run as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter.
Well, this was a pass all the way, but he just kept buying time, didn't he? It was kind of like, wait. Oh, it's open. Time to hot-foot it and go. And, boy, was he successful.
Yeah, didn't go to the outside toward the pylon, just straight ahead, middle third of the field.
Shortest distance between 2 points. Straight line.
Short kick here, fielded about the 17. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. The Bronco offense now set to come back out onto the field. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first 2 drives.
And I think the game's starting to take shape a little bit now. And I'm going to take it into the basketball world. When you're having trouble scoring or moving the ball in basketball, what do? Get it to their best player, right? Find a matchup, create it, exploit it, and try and move the football.
A look at the numbers a week ago for Lindsey. 14 carries, 125 yards, and a touchdown.
And the way they ran the ball last week had to bring a smile to the faces of the entire coaching staff, because not only are they seeing a back pile up yardage, they're seeing an offensive line in sync, and that bodes well this late in the season.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3.
Check. Crunch.
Shotgun now for Bortles. He can run for it, and he will. And he's brought to the ground with another first down at the Chargers' 45-yard line.
When they watch film of this game and hand out the grade sheets, he's going to really like getting a double plus on this play. Why? He scrambles and picks up a first down. But what else does he do? Protects himself by sliding and avoiding the big hit. Double plus, big-time play.
And he's got this down to the 35. A 10-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Broncos first down. Well, CD, a lot of times like to separate speed and quickness, and they've got a back that's both. We know that he's fast in the open field, but, man, his first step is so quick, too.
It is.
Now a loose football. The ball comes out, but it looked like, fortunately, the Broncos able to recover.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. And finally, down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. That burst good for 20 and a first down. They've been practicing goal line offense all week. Let's see if they're able to capitalize here. Now a play fake. Bortles. And this is caught by Allen for a Bronco touchdown. Keenan Allen, his 4th touchdown on the year, as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter.
Backyard football, sometimes just understanding who you've got out wide and who you're going to throw it to. Give him an opportunity to go up and make a play, even when contested. Looks like that one worked out pretty well. The trust factor, in effect.
So all even at 7 now as they kick it away.
That's it, baby. We're going to work.
And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
He'll have a first down past the 40. And down to the 7-yard line. A tremendous play there from Saquon Barkley. 68 yards on the ground. Well, that didn't take long. One play, and we're already looking at a 1st and goal situation. These two teams all tied after one. They'll try and run for it with Barkley. Only a yard that time, 2nd and goal. Be interesting to see now what they do offensively down near the goal line after not much there that time.
As the offensive play caller, that may change your sequence now. Instead of coming right back with a running play, you may have to go to the air.
And he's got his man. It's Henry for a Chargers touchdown. Hunter Henry, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Chargers have taken the lead. A post to the tight end for 6. Gosh, those guys are so tough to cover, aren't they? Just in general, tight ends running those patterns near the goal line.
Because you have to decide how you want to treat them. Are they a wide receiver? Are they a big extra blocker on the field? Or are they a hybrid and caught in between? So are you going to use a linebacker? Are you going to use a safety? Are you going to even move a corner in if you're going to play nickel or dime defense? They usually win those matchups because they have an answer for all 3 of those positions.
Phillip Lindsay and the rest of the offense heading back out. You can count his carries on one finger. They've only given him the rock one time, Charles. What gives?
So we can't draw any conclusions just yet. He has to touch the ball multiple times in order to get into a rhythm and have a chance to have success. You know who else gets into a rhythm? The offensive line. They feel better about what they're doing when they know they've had multiple opportunities to get it done.
Yeah, well, the conclusion we draw so far, they're losing here in the second quarter. Let's see if they change tunes. This will be a short gain of 3 before he's brought down at the 22. Call it about a gain of 3, and they'll be looking at a 3rd and 7 coming up. The Broncos on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. Bortles now to throw. They'll roll him out right. He may try and run for this.
Now, how about that play? He took a possible negative and turned it into positive yardage and slid down to avoid taking a big shot. Excellent job getting down and avoiding the big hit.
Taken in at the 22. It'll be a 51-yard punt that time. And that will come the offense as they take over. The offense takes the field, and we turn our attention to Saquon Barkley. And he's well on his way to a 100-yard game. He's already more than halfway there. We're only in the second quarter.
And what I've always loved about running backs is they'll tell you, I had no idea how many yards I had.
Right.
Those guys have an innate sense of where they are in a ball game and how many yards they've accumulated, because you know they're always working towards 100.
He's been working well towards 100 here. Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 29. On 2nd down, Eckler. It'll be a pickup of 5, and that leaves him with 5 more. 3rd and 5 now.
That 2nd down play call was not to pick up the 1st down. It was to accomplish what they did to get them into a manageable 3rd down, because they had incompletion on 1st down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
Jackson gets this out to Saquon Barkley. That one good for 13 and a Charger first. Now Jackson on 1st down. Over the middle, it's complete. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. It's a gain of 11 and a 1st down L.A. Here's Jackson to throw. That's complete to Slayton. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. It's a gain of 35. To throw again is Jackson. This will be caught at about the 6. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. He'll get only 2 there, and it's 2nd and goal.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop it.
He's got his man. It's caught. Touchdown, Chargers. Saquon Barkley, his 11th touchdown of the year. And the Chargers, they're able to widen their lead. Well, he wasn't the guy they were initially going for, but after going through the progressions, it worked.
When you have plenty of people who can catch the football, you don't always have to go to your primary target, and sometimes that target is actually covered. Nice job coming off of that and getting it to someone who is open.
And the man out of the backfield gets in for the score. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told, as he's taken down back shy of the 20. Out there to start their next drive, Phillip Lindsay and the Broncos. And for him, it's been pretty limited involvement. Down on the scoreboard, maybe time to turn to this guy.
And you know me well. Winning games to me means starting with the running game and continuing to press the running game. Maybe you go away from him a little bit now, but the bottom line is he hasn't touched it enough to make a difference.
Well, they haven't established that running game yet. The question is, will they? 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Bortles. He'll buy some time right. He's going to take off with it. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. Able to find a lot of empty space there, picking up the 1st down and a 21-yard gain.
Ready? 60 outlaws. Get it. Go.
On 1st and 10, here's Bortles. Caught by Allen. Give him 9 there on the 1st down completion.
That fun, set, 70, Indy.
On 2nd down, rolling. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
Ready. Go.
Running game working, they'll stick with it on first down. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up.
Ready up.
2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
Sorry, we get slap happy up here sometimes. Now a toss left side into the hands of his tight end. And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41. Now Bortles.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
No gain there on the completion, 2nd and 10.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10. Again, it's Bortles. This is the tight end Fant. And he'll go down right on the edge of the red zone following a pickup of about 7 or 8. Now the Broncos going to use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 55 seconds to go until halftime. Play number 9 set to come here on the drive on 3rd and 2. Again, they'll throw with Bortles. And this is complete. It's Allen. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Denver score. Keenan Allen with his 2nd touchdown of the game and 5th on the year, as his guys are back within a single score.
I think everyone in the league talks about finishing, don't they? Doesn't matter whether it's a quarter, a half, a game, a series, whatever. But they're finishing the first half in fine style, putting that one in the end zone.
They did, and they didn't leave much time on the clock either. Well done. This one taken just inside the 10. And they'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. The Charger drive about to get going. You're under a minute to go here in the half. Field position not really in your favor, but still time to try and move the ball and get in field goal range.
Yeah, you got the lead. It's definitely a thought. Let's go ahead and try and increase it. But at the same time, I don't like the odds. I don't like where they are on the field. Got the lead. They've done well in the first half. Don't mess it up and go into halftime looking at each other wondering what if.
Jackson now on 2nd and 10. He's going to look deep for Perriman. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a 3rd down. They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's the perfect word for it, precise, because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you? I mean, let's face it, it's not just West Coast offense either. He's putting the ball downfield as well.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. The Chargers going to signal for the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds to go in the first half. This quarterback now 11 of 15 through the air. Here's 1st and 10. Jackson will throw again. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And at the 7-yard line, the catch is made. Now the Chargers will use the second of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with 23 seconds to go till halftime. 2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. Now Jackson. And this is caught. He's got it. Touchdown, L.A. Darius Slayton As the first half is winding down. The Chargers, they're able to widen their lead. He was on point throwing the ball right there. He had the big play to get him down close, and then he delivers a touchdown pass on 1st and goal.
And you mentioned the big play that got him down close. I think that big play left him reeling a little bit. They didn't recover from it. And you know, they always talk about having to have a short memory on defense after a big play against you. Looks like their memory was a little too long there.
And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. We're under 20 seconds to go in the half. I'm guessing the wise play here is be safe.
That is the wise play, because if you think...
Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off near the 42. And a potential turning point as they'll get the football in very good field position late in this first half. After the interception, here's Jackson. Looking for Perriman there. He's got him. 28 yards the gain there on the catch and run. A bit of a surprise. They're going for it with 2 ticks remaining. No sign of the field goal unit. Final play of the half here. It's Jackson. And he's going to go down. Couldn't get a throw off with the pressure. Maybe that was for the best, as that brings us to the end of this first half of play. An abbreviated halftime show as we get rolling to quarter 3. This will be fielded at the 8. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line.
Here we go.
Out comes the Chargers as they'll go on offense now to start this third quarter. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. On 2nd and 9, Jackson, he's going to fire this thing deep. He's got a man, complete. A gain of 32 that time.
Just more of the same there, partner. Guys have just been running free in the secondary this entire game. No pass rush, a lot of passes completed. Been an easy day for them.
Throwing is Jackson, and that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down. Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41. Here's Jackson to throw again. That's complete. He's got Barkley out of the backfield. And he's in for a Charger touchdown. Saquon Barkley, his 2nd touchdown of the game, giving him 12 on the season. For the Chargers, they're able to widen their lead. Always important to get the first score of the second half. Now you start to pull away a little bit and get some breathing room going.
And now we find out about the fortitude of the group that's behind, because they were counting on getting into the game a little bit more, right? Maybe they get the first score. That doesn't happen. It looks almost insurmountable, but it's not. Let's see how hard they play the rest of the game.
So the Broncos come back out as we give you a look at the playoff race in the AFC. And it's right about this time of year you start to say this is when the cream rises to the top. Week 15, 3 weeks left to go, but still plenty to be determined.
And I think for most teams, the obvious is to try and be the number 1 or number 2 seed. But when you look at it across the league and throughout the history of trying to get to the Super Bowl, the teams you really fear are the ones that get hot and sometimes sneak in at a 5 or a 6 seed, because we've seen those teams actually get to the Super Bowl and occasionally win it.
Yeah, you think of the Giants a couple of times. Steelers have done it. You're right. It has happened and will happen more in the future, I'm sure. And he'll get this only up to about the 35. Call it a gain of 3, but not enough to move the sticks. It'll be third and about a foot or 2. On play action, now Bortles. He'll get this to Phillip Lindsay, complete. And he'll be brought down with the first down and a late flag here, too. And he may get a few more tacked on for good measure. So they'll take the yardage and tack on 15 more for the face mask.
Talk about a play that absolutely costs you in the end. Just trying to do your job, right? Trying to get him on the ground. Next thing you know, they march off another 15 against your squad.
They'll run the toss. It's Lindsay. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. That one good for 13 and a Denver first down.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
That first down completion only netted him 3. Second and 7. Now Bortles. Washington's got it. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6.
Here we go. 8, read. Come on, dude. 5.
On play action, it's Bortles. And this is caught by Allen for a Denver touchdown. Keenan Allen there to make the grab. And the Broncos cut into that lead. Well, yes, that's his 3rd touchdown catch, which is very impressive.
My goodness, yikes, they are in major league trouble. He's doing his best to try and keep.
This will be fielded at the 6. Yard line just across the 25. The offense takes the field, and ball closing in on that on the ground, too. They've really had trouble handling him.
I think from what we've seen in this game, his success through the air has started to open things up for him on the ground, because now he's loosened up the defense, right? They've got to play just about every snap as if another receiver can get downfield on them, and he's been that receiver. Now they bring him back to the backfield. I think his yardage running the ball will increase as this one goes on.
Well, they might need to devote some extra attention to him, something just to stop the momentum he has.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
Up and stop him. Throwing now, Jackson on first down. Fancy footwork at the 45. He'll get this out to Barkley, complete. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. On first and 10, it's Jackson. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Diaz. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. This quarterback now 5 straight completions here in this second half. First and 10.
Hey, 58. Here we go. 58, right over there.
Here's Jackson. Catch made by Slayton. Now this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. To throw again on second down. Jackson. Rush coming, and he's taken down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
A nickel set defensively for the Broncos here on third down.
Get that quarterback, D-line. Get that. D-line, get that quarterback. 58 for Mike, 58.
Off the play fake, here's Jackson. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Now, meanwhile, they go for it on fourth down, and my goodness, incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And the Broncos will take over on downs. So a tough pill to swallow there. A would-be touchdown pass in and out of his hands on fourth.
Sometimes it just comes down to execution, doesn't it? Because we're always questioning, should they go for it, should they not? Is it the right play call, is it not? In this situation, everything was right, except for the finish. You have to catch the ball and convert.
Ready.
From all the way up at the 38 now after a good start to the drive.
Go.
On 1st and 10, it's Lindsey. Well, now Lindsey lost the football. He's got daylight. And all the way home for a Broncos score. James Washington with touchdown number 7 on the year, as his guys are back within a single score.
I think the key to that play was them understanding and knowing that once the ball was out, they were still eligible to pick it up and carry it.
Yeah, there was some standing and some staring on the wrong side of the football there, wasn't there?
Yes, he has a name, he has a number, but for us, he's Johnny on the spot. And how about that rambling run all the way to the end zone with that alert play that he just made?
That's it, baby. Let's go.
The Chargers offense now, they get set to head back on the field. And on the last drive, they were in field goal range. They just opted not to kick it, didn't get it. How does that change the mentality this go around?
I don't think it changes much for the head coach because this is what he preaches all the time. Attack at all times in any spot on the field, and he likes touchdowns, not field goals. Now, your field goal kicker, you got to make sure you nurse him through and say, okay, don't worry about it. When we need you, you got to be ready to go. And the team, of course, loves to see points on the board. So let's see if it changes a little bit if they're in the same spot again.
Yeah, we'll see what the decision is here if they get to that spot. But now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10.
Here we go.
Throwing again. Jackson. Over the middle, complete. That's Hodges. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. A good pickup there, 26 yards. And this will be caught in the end zone for a Chargers touchdown. Saquon Barkley there to make the grab. And the Chargers, they're able to widen their lead.
And this is obviously quite a performance. And most of the time when we talk about someone putting a team on their back, I think we're talking about a guy who runs the football. In this case, it's a guy out wide catching it, and he's done exactly that, truly leading his team right now towards victory.
3 touchdown catches. He's been the headliner. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line.
Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
And Denver getting set to take the field. I guess they have to feel a little gratified to at least get on the board last time, but still work to do.
No doubt about it. I wonder now if they're going to try to increase the urgency a little bit, maybe pump up the pace, maybe go 2-minute. Who knows? Let's see what they decide to do.
Credit the tackle there to Uchenna Nwosu. They'll come up 2nd and 6 now from the 24. They'll go again with Lindsey. And able to break 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. 3 yards is half of what they needed. Now can they get the other 3 here on 3rd down? This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. To throw is Bortles. And it's a big turnover there on the final play of the quarter. Back now at Dignity Health Sports Park in Carson. It's Charger football, and they've got the lead as well as we begin the 4th quarter. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. From the gun, it's Jackson. And And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's second down.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Well, it was 2nd long. Now it's 3rd and even longer. They're going in the wrong direction here.
Because they're moving exactly the way they want to, but you're exactly right. Definitely going in the wrong direction for the offensive guys.
Here's Jackson on 3rd and long. Oh, incomplete. Nearly the pick they needed. They would have loved one there, but at least it does get them to 4th down. They're looking for a spark defensively. When he went for that ball, probably thought he had a chance at the pick. Now, remember, they had 2 last week in the win, obviously losing here.
Well, you talked about looking for a spark, and the best sparks are when you make big plays for your team, and he had that opportunity there. Couldn't haul it in, but that doesn't mean they're going to back off at all. They figure if they can get one of those takeaways, they can spark their team to a win.
Defensively, a bit of a collapse, allowing the 4th down play to result in 23 yards. Gets this out to Saquon Barkley. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a 1st down. Now it's Jackson, and he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Carl Lawson able to record his 5th sack of the season.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
So they get pushed back to the 11, and here's 2nd and goal. Jackson now. Forced out to his left. Jackson hit, and he lost the football. It's picked up by the Broncos. And to the 12. That's where it stops. The return is halted at the 12-yard line.
Partner, that one looked like it was over. I mean, they had control, had the football, and the defense had to make a play in order to keep them in the game. That's exactly what they did.
And now that door ajar, 2-score game, so hold on here, not done in the 4th. And able to get it across the 20 before they get to it. That one going for a gain of 11 and a Bronco 1st down. Bortles now perfect since the second half started, 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. Working from the gun, it's Bortles. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. 2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on 1st down. To throw, it's Bortles. Steps away. He's going to take off with it. And he's dropped just before the line to gain. 4-yard pickup leaves him with 3rd and 1. He'll wind up getting 4 there on his own, but it will leave him now with a 3rd down situation. Bortles going to throw. He'll find Lindsey here. And he will be very close to a 1st down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means 4th down. You got the big lead defensively, willing to give him that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle him after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
And he will have a 1st down here at about the 40. The time to pull out the stops is now, and they convert there on 4th down.
If he writes a book in the offseason, he ought to title it Undaunted, because where he is on the field, back on his own side, and goes for it, and gets it, I got to give it to him on that one.
Yeah, only thing now he's hit, and Bortles fumbled. It's loose, and picked up by the Chargers. And he's just across midfield and down at the 49-yard line.
Brandon, I don't want to violate any of our broadcasting rules by declaring a game over before it's over, but that one, that puts them in real jeopardy there.
Absolutely. It was a 2-possession game. It is a 2-possession game at this stage in the 4th. They needed points out of that drive.
And obviously now, no chance at all to get those points that they so desperately needed.
Darquez Denard there to make the tackle. On 2nd and 9, Jackson. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. The catch and run pays off for 29 yards. Jackson from the shotgun. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. But a Chargers player was able to fall on it, and they'll keep possession.
Sack, baby! Sack!
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
He's got this one complete to Perriman. And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. 23 yards, the final tally. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Charger football as we welcome you back from the 2-minute warning. They've got it first and goal in a game that appears to have already been decided. Jackson. This will be caught at about the 5. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. From back at the 4, here's second and goal. Oh, Jackson's going to throw it. He's got his man. It's caught. Touchdown, Chargers. Saquon Barkley there to make the grab. For the Chargers, they're able to widen their lead. And let's count them up now. 1, 2, 3, 4 touchdown receptions for him in this game.
And just one shy of the NFL record. What a great performance. Going up and catching the football, creating space, and finding the end zone. That's what it's all about.
It's a short kick taken near the 18. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Getting set to go again here on offense, Keenan Allen marches back onto the field. This defense, they wouldn't mind not seeing him again for a while. 3 trips to the end zone. How about that?
I think right now they would happily go to their general manager and say, is there any way you could get a trade for him, bring him over to our team so we don't have to cover him anymore? Because he is really having a heck of a ball game, isn't he?
Boy, he is. I don't know that mid-game trade's going to happen, but good thought. Throwing again on second down. Bortles. And he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here. Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on second down. From the gun, it's Bortles. He's got his tight end Fant. And he will have first down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. Bortles to throw once more. And the Chargers rush is going to get there. Down he goes. Joey Bosa in there yet again. What else is new? He continues to rewrite the record book in single-season sacks. And the pressure gets to him again. Now the Broncos going to use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 55 seconds remaining in the football game. Bortles now to throw. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Derwin James with a pick. The intended receiver there, Allen. Well, it wasn't always pretty, but the interception there, that means that they should get out of here with a victory.
Yeah, this is not a game that they're going to preserve for posterity on defense, but they did finish it off, didn't they? They did make the winning play to close things out. They'll take that one and head to the locker room.
That is caught inside the 5. And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. Call that a very strong gain of 24. And despite the late lead, Jackson to throw. And this is caught. He's got it. Touchdown, L.A. Saquon Barkley there to make the grab. And the Chargers capitalize on the short field as they take it in for 6. Extra point by Badgley up and good. And that'll increase their lead to 28. Following the touchdown, Badgley out there to kick it away. short kick here, fielded about the 17. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. Here's the Denver offense now as they get set to take over here. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, "Who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time." But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. And it's complete. He gets this one to Washington. Now the Chargers will use the second of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just one remaining in this fourth quarter of play. Throwing his Bortles on third down. He's going to let it fly. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up fourth down. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure, the backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
The Charger drive about to get going. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When you go to the backup, let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. These guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
That's complete. He's got Barkley out of the backfield. And they're going to have this way down deep in Denver territory.
Here we go. Here we go.
Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So